Hello and welcome. This is Michele Christensen of OneNote Life, and this is a Plan With Me video for January of 2019. I'm using OneNote for Windows 10, and I'm going to walk you through how I evaluate the past month and set goals for the upcoming month. Now, I myself am an avid OneNote fan, and I use OneNote to keep just about everything in my life, big and small, organized and moving forward. I'm a YouTube creator and I'm a blogger at OneNoteworthyLife.com, and I host the OneNote Bullet Journal Facebook group. So this monthly video is a little bit later than I usually post because I had quite a bit of transition videos going from the old year to the new year. There are two planning videos that I posted for 2019, part 1, which is my annual overview, and part 2, which is my yearly theme. Those are linked in the description of this, and I'll be referencing those throughout this video. So I have already done this, so this is going to be more of a walkthrough, and the reason I film after doing this process is because I like to really take my time, and sometimes it takes an hour or two to really think through this and write my thoughts up and things like that. And also, there's not much to show you in the way of OneNote tips or tricks in this, so it just makes more sense to do it and then film it afterwards. So let's get into it. The first thing I do is review my prior month. I write my goals, those are in the black text, and then I use a different color to add commentary and note my progress on those things. The color doesn't really have any meaning, I just kind of pick another color for whatever mood I'm in. Okay, so let's look at these December goals. So the first one I had, OneNote Life, ONL, that's my business and blog. I have some old email lists from some prior business activities I was in, and I'm not really using them anymore, so I want to get to work deleting those. Not only because it keeps my current focus more streamlined, but also because if you have an email service, like I use Aweber, for example, it costs more money once you reach certain levels of subscribers, so it's good to keep that cleaned up and current. So I wanted to get to 4. I only got to 1, but I'm already on that for January and making progress. So another goal I had was to go through all of 2018 and check the categories in my bank software to make sure the expenses were listed properly and things like that. And I started on this, which I'm really happy about because I really loathe anything having to do with taxes and stuff like that. So I usually put that off to the last minute because I hate dealing with it. So I'm pretty excited that I've actually gotten into this already, and I've made already more progress in January. So another banking goal I had was I wanted to change the amount. I have a recurring transfer that happens, and I wanted to change that amount, and I didn't get to that in December. So calories. I had put on some weight a while back, and I'm working on getting back to a healthy body weight. So I set a calorie goal for every month. And at the beginning of the month, I had set the goal that I was going to try and have a average of negative 220 calories per day. And around the 9th of the month, I just was feeling really stuck and the weight wasn't coming off and stuff. So I made a decision that I was going to try and push that up to 300. And it's hard for me to do that in the middle of the month like that, but I decided to go for it. In the end, I didn't hit that goal of 300, but I did hit an average of 232, which is pretty good. And I managed to drop weight during the holidays. And I live in the US where, a lot of people struggle with weight gain during the holidays. So I consider any time I can drop weight during the holidays to be a win. So my next goal was sleep. My sleep had gotten way off track, and I had gotten into some very bad habits and things like that. And I decided to put this on hold because December is a really busy month just with holidays and extra events and things. And one of the things I realized in wrapping up 2018 and setting up 2019 was that I take on too much at a time, and I can't make progress in that many areas at one time. So I just decided to put this on hold. And I have a project with some bonds I've been working on, and I've done everything I could in that month, December, and I have a few remaining tasks to do. So hopefully that'll be cleared up soon. And then my final goal for December was to work on my daily habits. I use I have routines that I do every day, and they really help. They keep my life, kind of in order. They keep my house in order. And then when I don't do them, things kind of fall apart. So I was really focused on that for December, and I'm really glad I did that because it felt great. And I got kind of, reinforcement that those habits are good and that they work when I do them. So the next section I do is called What Else? And this is just a free-form section I do to write down anything that happens, kind of good, bad, or indifferent, that influences how my month goes. So as I mentioned, I really enjoyed prioritizing those daily habits, and this was in December, and I was starting on 2019, really excited for the new year. The next page I'm going to show you is my pruning update, and pruning was my theme for 2018, and I go into a lot more detail in this in my second 2019 planning video, which is linked in the comments. But in a nutshell, I'm glad to have had this focus for 2018. I feel like it was a good word, a good mindset, but I did not get stellar results with it. And looking back on the 2 years of 2017, where my theme was completion, and 2018, where it was pruning, so they both have the same idea of getting more things done with fewer things on my plate, and they both kind of didn't work so well. And it helped me to figure out, though, that one of my problems is I take on too many things at a time. So I have a new theme for January ready to start it off, and you can see more about that in the 2019 planning video linked in the comments. So the next thing I look at is, this is from my annual plan. This is what I thought I would be doing in December when I set up my 2018 at the beginning of 2018. And December was really light. I just have a few birthdays and holidays and things like that on there. And that was deliberate because the holidays can be a really busy time. And also by the end of the year, sometimes things have lapsed and I have to get caught up on things. So I kept December really light. Everything went off, no problem. And it was a really nice month. The final thing I want to show you is my December calendar. I'm just going to scroll down a little here so you can see this whole thing. I don't use this for appointments or anything like that. I like to write one good thing or noteworthy thing that happened that day, just something of interest or whatever, and sometimes do a little doodle. So I just like to have fun with this. Now we are ready to set up for January. So one of the first things I do is look at my January annual plan. And this is what I thought I would be doing in January when I set up my annual plan. And the first of the two 2019 planning videos is how I set up my annual plan. So all I have is a couple of birthdays on here, and that's intentional. One of the things I want to do this year is take on fewer big projects and get on top of a lot of little things. So that's intentional. Then I set up my January goals. So as you can see, you know what, let me just scroll a little on this. See if I can get this whole thing visible. All right, so I'm going to scroll up and then we'll scroll down. You can see there's already some colored text on here because I have already made progress on some of these because I'm filming late in January. So I again have the same goal of deleting 4 old email lists. I've done 3 already, so I'm almost there for January. And I also realize that if I can do 4 in January, 4 in February, I'll be done. But at this point, the remaining ones are going to take a little bit more unraveling to deactivate, but that's okay. I'm on track. Then I have already gotten through June of last year with categorizing those transactions in the bank software. And then I did change the amount of a recurring transfer. So I'm doing really good on those work goals. So for my personal goals, I set a calorie goal. My daily average, I wanted it to be 250, doing pretty good on that. So for my sleep, I wanted to kind of restart some of these good habits that I had established. One of them is I use my tablet before bed only on Saturdays and 2 other days per month. So I'm tracking that on my calendar, and I think I'm going to hit that. I also like to set my phone to black and white sometime well before bed. I have an alarm that goes off. It makes your phone way less visually appealing, and it makes me less likely to want to like play on my phone or use my phone before bed. And what I decided as far as my bed and wake times, I'm going to just keep track of that and set small daily goals instead of trying to set a big goal. And then my new theme for 2019 is Be Ready, and that is described in the second of those the second of the 2019 planning videos. And so the first kind of little tiny piece of that I decided to tackle was to get current on my daily habit of decluttering. So on the first, I was 29 sessions behind, and that's an accumulated, like, sort of lifetime deficit. So, I just want to try and make that less by the end of the month. That's my only goal there. And then I want to continue to focus on those daily habits because, again, they really work. So I already have this what else in there because, again, I'm filming pretty far into January. I started the new year by throwing my back out again, and it was really, really painful. But I know what caused it. I have been doing some different things in my fitness regimen that help keep my back healthy, and I slowed down on doing them because a lot of the studios and gyms that I go to have lighter holiday schedules. And between that and the extra busyness, that was all it took to kind of make my back hurt again. So I won't let this happen again. I have things I can do at home that I can, do to keep my back healthy. So I will do that. And the last thing I want to show you is my January calendar. It's already partially filled in. Just having a little fun with this. So I think that is it. So I'm all set up for January, and I just want to mention that, I realize this process of reflection and goal setting, it does take some time and take some effort, some discipline, but it's really worth it. I have been making just slow and steady progress, and I can really see it add up over time, and it's very motivating, and it really helps me to know that I'm doing things that are getting me going in the direction I want to go. So if you think a process like this might help you, I really encourage you to expand your existing process or try something new if you're not doing anything at all. And do that no matter what time of the month or year it is. There's never a bad time to add some reflection and planning to your life. So I just encourage you to jump in with that. Now, if you have questions or comments or something you want to see in more detail, leave a comment on this video and I'll do my best to get back to you. If you like this, please hit the thumbs up button. And if you want to see more videos like this, as well as OneNote tutorials, please subscribe by hitting the subscribe button. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye-bye.